So we just wanted to do this quick vlog review for the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, which we just got done watching a little while ago. It's really hard to review it unbiasedly because I'm such a huge fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Well, the point of that movie is you have to be a fan of AVGN, otherwise you're not really going to get most of it.
There's a lot of inside jokes and things that only fans of the nerd will get. It's my understanding James did want to make the movie so that you could pick it up not knowing who the nerd was and still enjoy it. And
well,
they do.
It teaches you who the nerd is.
Yeah, they really kind of explain for people who have never watched any of the videos on cinemassacre.com. They still kind of explain who the nerd is and what he represents.
They do that really, really well.
Yeah.
The great montage-y sort of thing.
Yeah. The first few minutes of the movie pretty much sums up who and what the nerd is for people who aren't familiar. I think so.
Yeah. And for those of us who are familiar, it's like, oh, look, he's sort of doing bits we love, but they're not quite the same. And not in a bad way, either.
No, it's referencing reviews and jokes made in the past. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Forgive me if I ramble, this is unscripted and I think it's about 4 a.m. So...
No, I think it's more like... Here, let me look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
you keep talking and I'll look.
I'm pretty sure it's close to 4 a.m. right about now.
Yeah, almost 4.
Yeah, so... And we've been at school all day on campus and everything, so my brain is a little bit fried, but I wanted to make a vlog while the movie was fresh in my mind. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm sad I didn't get to see it in theaters, though, when it was doing its limited tour. They don't come to Utah because Utah is kind of boring, although that is changing with all the conventions we've been having.
And apparently we're the geekiest state in the United States, so...
Yeah, so... Anyways, looking at the movie from sort of an outsider perspective, if you can appreciate all of the work and love that went into it, I would still give it a good review. It's got a lot of homages to the way visual effects were done before everything was oversaturated with CGI.
Some of the effects are purposefully done very cheaply, on purpose.
Yeah, to give
it makes me think of Ed Wood, but better.
Yeah,
it's like better than what Ed Wood could do.
Yeah, like some of the models and effects are done in a very low budget way, but not trying to hide that fact like some movies might, but sort of celebrating the almost sort of hodgepodge way in which everything was put together. And it's just a labor of love. It shows through every frame of the movie, honestly.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Well, it's like he even comments that his dreams are even low budget.
Yeah.
Which was great. So.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to give too much away spoiler-wise as far as the plot goes. I mean, the basic idea of the movie is everybody has probably heard of E.T. on Atari. Actually, everybody hasn't, but that's because they're really young. I was talking to some coworkers who are like high school age, and I'm like, you know, you guys heard about, you know, you guys know what E.T. for the Atari 2600 is, right? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, you know what E.T. is? And they're like, yeah, the movie. I'm like, well, once upon a time, a game was made for the Atari 2600 based off of E.T., which was a huge financial failure, so much so that it actually caused what is known as a video game crash, which video games...
1983.
Yeah, video games weren't really revived until the Nintendo Entertainment System, which changed everything.
Yeah.
But anyways, Atari's losses were so bad that they had an overabundance of stock which they had to get rid of. Not just E.T. games, but that's what the movie focuses on, and they dumped it into a landfill in the New Mexico desert.
There's actually a documentary about them unearthing all of those. It's not anything to do with the movie, but it was a documentary that just recently came out all about it, too.
Actually, I don't think it's out yet.
They're making it, then?
No, it was previewed at...
Comic-Con?
I believe it was at Comic-Con.
Well, then it came out.
Yeah, it's gonna be on... Sadly, I don't have... I'm a PlayStation fanboy. So, you know, you Xbox fans can diss on me if you want. But anyways, it's going to be an Xbox Lite exclusive. So
Of course.
So,
it's because Atari and them have a deal
Yeah.
or something.
but I do want to see it. It's about the real unearthing of the Atari landfill. This movie, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, is a fictional take on what's in the landfill and why it was put there. And it's pretty clever.
It's very clever.
Without saying anything, it was pretty awesome. The movie actually has some surprises in it. A lot of cameos from other internet reviewers like The Nerd, which is another reason why anybody who's not familiar with the sort of expanded online community of video reviewers, internet reviewers, won't recognize a lot of the cameos, which we did.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you watch any of the videos on Cinemassacre.com or thatguywiththeglasses.com, are two of the ones that you'll recognize cameos from. So.
Even the late Jew Wario shows up in there somewhere,
Yeah,
too.
we didn't notice him. I know he's supposed to be in the movie. I'm going to go back and try and find him. I saw his name in the credits, though.
With
in
a
his memory, which was pretty sad, and also it was nice to see, though.
Yeah.
So
Other sort of, you could almost count them as cameos, but like some people who show up who, like the guy who voiced the original Michelangelo in Turtles movie. The original Turtles movie.
in the original Turtles movie, yeah, the voice of Michelangelo is the voice of a character in this, which is pretty cool. I mean, this isn't really spoilers because some of this was already kind of announced on the site leading up to the release. Roger Corman of Troma has a cameo in the movie, which he also had a cameo in one of the Angry Video Game Nerd episodes, actually, for the Toxic Avenger video game.
And isn't he also in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, he's one of the angry prisoners on the prison asteroid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one thing we have to mention is the music. It's done by Bear McCreary, who does
a lot of well-known TV shows. Walking Dead. He did Battlestar Galactica. Da Vinci's Demons, didn't he do
Yes,
that?
he did Da Vinci's Demons. And it's like, most of it's, I think, all done 8-bit style.
Yeah, all of the music is
It's so good.
8-bit video game style music almost, which is really cool. And Bear McCreary also did the How the Nerd Stole Christmas Nerd Christmas special, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
So they have a close working relationship, I guess, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. If you sat down somebody who doesn't know anything about the nerd...
Or if you don't like crude humor.
Or if they don't like crude humor or old-school video games, they'd probably be bored by it or think it was dumb. But for the audience which the movie is intended, I mean, I think it's a blast.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed every second of it.
And he even has a lot of homages put in there to other movies. There's one I noticed from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And there's one from Turtles 3. Which was funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, once again...
Or even Godzilla movies, you know, that whole sort of thing. And
oh, yeah, the big, the Toho monster movies. There's a huge homage to that, which you'll have even seen in the trailer a little bit.
He also films on the one, like, epic, huge rock thing in...
Vasquez Rocks.
Yes.
Which is a famous landmark, most known for an episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Against the Corn.
Against the Gorn, yeah.
Oh, that's such a great episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else except that fight.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else to say without spoiling the plot for people looking forward to seeing this who haven't got a chance to see it yet.
His costume is completely different to anything else he does review-wise. He did it specifically for the movie so it would seem different.
Yeah, he made a version of the nerd costume, which is exclusive to the movie. What else?
It's really good. And it's not that expensive if you buy it online.
That's only $10 to buy it online. You can go to Cinemassacre.com and find the link of where to purchase it. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really good.
They're releasing the DVD and Blu-ray in November or December, hopefully, in time for the Christmas season, which I'll also be getting. And that's another thing. James Rolfe is a huge inspiration of mine. And it's always been his dream to make a feature film, which turned out to be entirely funded by fans of his web series. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like...
Over 300,000.
Was it? I'm gonna look it up, you know. This is unscripted, so we can be clumsy. I'm not gonna do any nifty editing with this. It's just sort of I wanted to do a vlog. Talking about the movie.
So, while he's looking, another thing I wanted to mention is how there's who we think is a cameo in there, and we're not too certain, is possibly James's wife.
Yeah, I think I saw Mrs. Nerd in there. If that was her, that's pretty awesome. Because she's, you know, he tries to keep his family and his personal life separate from Cinemassacre, which, you know, is completely understandable. But yeah, I think I recognized her from the pictures he put up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Mrs. Nerd. Yeah, on Indiegogo, which is a crowdfunding website, he wanted to try and raise, where was it?
It says right here.
Yeah, $75,000 is what he was hoping to raise to make his movie, which, if you know anything about independent film, $75,000 is not a lot at all. I mean, that could be spent very fast, and, you know, making movies is a really expensive thing, even more so than a lot of people who aren't sort of versed in the whole process realize.
Yeah.
But he, his goal was $75,000, and through fan donations he made $325,327, which is, my understanding, pretty much paid for the entire movie.
Yeah, it did.
So, I mean, that's impressive. I've been doing a lot of Kickstarter-based stuff with one of my classes in college right now. Kickstarter is another site like Indiegogo, a crowdfunding site, and that's an impressive thing, getting that much money donated. And, you know, this just adds to the fact that the whole movie, from the fans and for the fans, is a labor of love, and it, you know, like I said, it shows in every moment of the movie.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he has been working on this for years and years. They started writing the script for it way back when, from what I remember hearing in all the interviews and vlogs that James would put up. Yeah, it's finally done, and it's online for everybody to watch.
And you guys should download it. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And even from an objective point of view, if you think of the audience that it's geared towards, it's actually really, really well done. And it keeps you, you know, engaged and, you know, on the edge of your seat.
If you like old video games, if you're a fan of pop culture, movies in general, if you like, you know, low-budget B-movies, if you have an affinity for them like I do, you'll enjoy it.
The cat says hi.
The cat says hello. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I just wanted to get this video kind of done while the movie was fresh in my mind. Do you want to talk about anything with spoilers now? Do you want to keep going?
Okay. From this moment on, spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just stop watching the video. We won't mind.
5, 4, 3. Okay, so the plot's actually pretty cool.
I just gotta say, my brain died. Doug Walker's cameo was incredible.
Yeah, Doug Walker, he's the nostalgia critic, if you're not familiar with him, on thatguywiththeglasses.com.
Yeah, stop.
He has a cameo in the movie, which is pretty funny, kind of near the end.
I love his scream. It'll always be fantastic.
It's become iconic, at least it is to me. The interesting thing about the whole E.T. cartridges being buried in the New Mexico desert is actually that it's connected to Area 51 and the whole Roswell thing. And basically, the big reveal is that the game is actually a map of Area 51, which is why, you know, it was such a terrible game, because it was never intended to be a game in the first place. But it was actually a hidden map for Area 51.
And of course the funny thing is, you know, it's like there's those stupid 3 buildings. Area 51 actually looks like those 3 buildings and everything. It's
in the movie, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like Area 51 looks like the game, because it is the game, and it is so funny and so brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, there was a scientist who worked at Area 51 during the time the alien crashed in the 50s.
And they became friends or something, is what he said. And
yeah.
And the alien ship is kind of like tinfoil, but not, and it's
a special material, yeah.
Yeah,
that,
and it can bond itself together.
The government wanted to use, and the scientist guy replaced it with tinfoil and hid pieces of the ship in the cartridges to E.T., which, you know, they need to bring together in order to get the alien ship back together so they can rescue the alien and basically let him go home.
Yes.
You know. And it's
also
cool.
stop the big mecha baddie who was buried under Mount Fuji.
Yes, there's a big mecha baddie who more or less would cause the world to cease to ever have existed. And that's actually another... it's a very busy plot, but it never feels convoluted or cluttered. It just kind of takes you along like a roller coaster ride, because I never felt bogged down by all of the details and stuff. It just made the movie all the more fun and hilarious.
Yeah. I love how the character Cooper, right?
Yeah, that's the kid from the Bernie Mac show.
Yeah. He has this interesting, I want to say theory, but it's like, it's what he believes is that, like, you know, the world is actually flat, there really is a Santa Claus, and that there's this big, like, baddie named, like...
I can't remember the name of the villain, the mecha thing.
He lives under Mount Fuji, and if he somehow gets awoken, then he will completely destroy everything as if nothing ever happened. Except there'll still be a big bologna sandwich, which will have no scale because there's nothing to compare it against, so it is scaleless.
Yes.
Oh my god. It's
the
so
truth,
absurdly great.
The truth behind that whole thing is that our world was basically a video game created by the big mecha guy for the alien to play, right?
Yeah. That's what I got.
And if the mecha guy destroys the game, it's basically essentially taking the video game away from the kid as a punishment, and
because he messed up and allowed the world to get all warry and angry and violent.
Yeah. So there's actually a little bit of a positive message hidden in there, too. And it really is. I mean, it's a feel-good movie. It leaves you with a smile on your face.
Kitty, stop!
Yeah, we're probably going to confuse everybody with this, but... Yeah, I mean, really, the best thing to do is just to go and see it. But yeah, they need to prevent the reset button on, you know, the video game console of the world from being hit by the bad mecha, basically.
Who's basically, you know...
He's a big mecha who, you know, walks through the high-rise buildings, smashing shit and just causing havoc.
Just because it's fun.
Yeah, and it looks like the old, you know, it looks like the old Japanese monster movies with, you know, the guy in the big suit and the oversized city set, because that's exactly how they did it. And it just looks awesome, though.
The really funny thing is they start out in Japan, so they have, like, the screaming Japanese people being like, ah!
Yeah.
And that even included was so funny.
Yeah.
It's really a love letter to, like, all the things that James loves. There's even, like, a bit with zombies.
Yeah, there are zombies in this movie.
So
yeah, it's
and robots, like normal, like, box robots.
Yeah, basically, you take everything that James Rolfe, the creator, you know, of the Angry Video Game Nerd, loves, and you roll it into a movie.
Pippin.
That's also for the fans. And also another, you know, sort of spoiler, it was kind of said online before the fact, is that in real life everybody's bugging him to make an Angry Video Game Nerd episode where he reviews E.T. for the Atari, and he's kept putting it off to include that as part of the movie. And it is included in the movie. The nerd does review E.T. in the movie, so you finally get to have that review after all these years.
Yeah, so if you want to see the review, just get the movie.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
It's a blast. I mean, yeah, it's corny and silly, but
it's fun.
It's so much fun. I know a lot of people who wouldn't like the movie just because...
My mother would hate it.
Well, yeah, and my parents wouldn't really probably enjoy it either. You know, it does have an audience that it's meant for, but that audience is going to love this movie.
Yes. And the thing is, especially like with what the intro points out, is there are people all around the world who absolutely love the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah, they actually use real, like, webcam and YouTube footage of people's videos talking about the nerd as part of the movie, and that was actually sort of a contest thing Cinemassacre did, where you could submit video with a chance to put it in the movie. I'm constantly going to kick myself for not getting around to doing that, but, you know, college kind of kicked my ass a little bit at that point, because that was during the first quarter at film school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I just didn't get around to it, so...
That's okay.
Oh well. I still, you know, I love the Angry Video Game Nerd, I love the movie, and I'll still support anything that Cinemassacre does.
Well, yeah, it's like you've got over here your own little AVGN and
My shit pickle. Yep.
And you've got...
I have my Jason figure, which is the
hold
version
up
of
a
the
bit.
Jason that appears in the regular NES Friday the 13th video game.
Which you got for that.
Which I, you know, got for that purpose, and I always have.
Oh yeah, your sister got it for you.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. And I have it stalking the nerd always because of the Friday the 13th Angry Video Game Nerd episode, which right there, the way he puts that together shows his love for horror movies and for slashers too. So, I mean, yeah, he puts what he loves into his work, like, you know, any good artist will do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't think of anything else to add, really. I'm sure we're rambling a lot, and there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I could go on talking about the more technical aspects of how the film looks and everything. It looks good, though.
It looks very good. And the special effects, I like how they're done.
Yeah, yeah.
They use a lot of practical effects, which, like we said, are meant to look...
Yeah, it has a charm to it, you know. You don't want to go in taking it seriously, you just want to go in having fun.
Yes.
And, I mean, yeah,
Well, let me put it this way. We went and saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which is, you know, big budget, it's supposed to be fun. I was bored out of my mind, and I know you liked it better than I did, but you are a Turtles fan and I'm not. However, this movie, I think, is miles better. It's better written.
Absolutely.
It actually has heart and soul in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cheaper made. The effects are nowhere near as like high quality, but at the same time,
this proves that you don't have to have that to make a damn entertaining movie.
Exactly.
It proves that,
Cat.
you know, anybody, if they have, you know, the right...
the drive and the ambition.
The drive and the ambition and the love for what they're doing can still make something that's just as entertaining as what corporate Hollywood's putting out, if not even more entertaining.
Usually.
As you cited, Ninja Turtles, which she hated it, I didn't like it. But there's a fine line between hating a movie for me and just not liking it. But we're not going to go on about Turtles in this vlog. Cause
no, that's not what this is about.
I don't want to derail my happy afterglow of seeing the Angry Video Game Nerd movie.
Yes.
Which that would. So yeah, I can't think of anything else to add. Check it out if you think it's something you would like. And if you're not sure but you're curious, you can also rent it for, I think it's like $5.
Something like that, I don't know. But you rent it off of Vimeo, I believe.
Yeah, all of those links can be found at cinemassacre.com, which I can actually include in the description to this video too, just to be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yep. Anything else to add, or I think we're pretty much covered it?
I believe we're good. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
It just popped into my mind because it just had me cracking up, is on the huge Becca thing, like, the one chick, like, it's drawn into the magnet. She's like, what is this? He's like, it's a chick magnet. It's so corny, but I was laughing so hard.
You gotta love the pun jokes. There's a few in there. I have a soft spot for terrible puns. It was hilarious, though.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for making it, James. Although I doubt you'll see this still, you know. Thank you for a great movie.
Thank you. I enjoyed it a lot. I look forward to watching whatever you do next.
And we'll watch the movie again later.
Of course.
Yes.